I think very few of us actually had an idea before we started the course, and then the first semester was so taken up with the 1,000 pages of reading that Evan mentioned, that a lot of people, had that sort of winter holiday for it to come to them, and I similarly had an idea that French decolonisation as well was something that really interested me, and I ended up choosing Madagascar because partly because it hasn't had a lot of scholarly attention, and partly because I'd lived there and I had some experience of it, and think that it's a really interesting place, especially within the French African Empire, because it's quite distinct from the rest of Africa. And so that sort of, I initially looked at decolonisation, which seemed very big, unsurprisingly, and ended up focusing on the role of colonial soldiers in the French army during the Second World War, and their participation in the anti-colonial movement after the Second World War, because I thought that sort of pattern was quite interesting, and one that, again, didn't go along with the rest of Africa. I was quite worried about the summer break because I was expecting to have to work throughout it, and was quite lucky to have got a FLAS, which is an American thing. It's very nice. It's a Foreign Languages and Area Studies fellowship, which pays the fees of a language course in the country where that language is spoken, and also gives you a stipend while you're there. And I also got a nice grant from Columbia, which meant I didn't have to work. So I spent the entire summer mainly in France, because I was quite nervous about interviewing in French. My French was okay, and I was perfectly comfortable reading, but I was quite worried about interviewing people. I know I was intending to interview veterans. I don't know quite why I thought there would be any veterans alive, but I was intending to interview. So I was quite happy or very relieved to be able to do a language course that got my confidence up in that. And then I spent a couple of weeks in the French archives, where most of the colonial archives are, unfortunately, and 3 weeks in Madagascar, interviewing a couple of people, but mainly in their archives, actually.